Welcome to Introverse.
Speaking of like like artificial intelligence, and I sent you a message on this already, Dustin, but do you have, so here, all of the fast food chains have implemented AI drive-thrus. Do y'all have that where you're
I
at?
do not. This is
Greg?
foreign to me.
Really?
No. In what
Oh,
way? What
so
part is AI?
so you drive through the drive-thru, and normally, a human being talks to you. Instead of a human, the computer talks to you. Hi, how may I take your order? And you tell it, and it repeats it to you, and you say yes, that's what I want, and they tell you the total, and that's it, and you drive through. That's how it's supposed to work. This is how I know AI is not close to taking over the world, because we can't get fast food right. It's way worse than a human being.
Wait, though. Like, so if
Oh
That's
my
not
god!
that's not real AI yet.
Yes, it
You haven't
is.
explained. It's
Yes, it
voice
is.
to.
It's
It's
listening
just
to you.
voice recognition.
No, well,
It's
that's
Siri.
part of it. It's part of it. It's
is it just
recording
like
the
a
order,
Siri?
giving
They
you back the
just
total.
they just plugged the
AI
Siri.
encompasses a lot of things.
They plugged an iPhone up to the speaker at McDonald's. That's
Say
what they
it's
did.
not. It's not AI yet.
Absolutely
What
AI.
you've described is just voice recording and putting an order
But
in.
here's the thing.
But
What if you?
it still has to have a conversation with you. Is this what you want? Yes, that's what I want.
I
Would
do
you
that
like
every time I'm
upsize
put
it?
on hold, and they say every
That's
time I call
AI
the
too.
bank.
That's AI
It's
too,
just-
though.
Okay,
That is AI. All computers are AI, artificial intelligence.
Well, then every computer, then what you're
It's
saying
true.
isn't new.
It's not new.
it's just
It's
AI's
all
been around
computers.
for 60 years.
yeah, it's just varying levels
It's
of it.
marketed now,
Right.
and now
I
people
don't
are
think you
afraid
should
of
call
it.
that AI.
Well, are
It's
they
not
calling it AI? Is
Yes.
That's
yes.
computers.
Okay,
You drive through. Hi, I'm your AI. Whatever. Let me take your order.
Hi, I'm
That's
Alice,
just
your
marketing.
AI. So, but here's the
Yeah.
thing: So you're saying it sucks. Basically, it doesn't work well.
That's not intelligence, whether
'Cause-
artificial.
Well,
or
I'm sorry for people that work there. That's not intelligence either.
that's a true.
Have you ever drove through a drive-through and talked to a human?
Yeah. Well, I
It's not
guess
even
they
real
thought it couldn't get
intelligence.
any worse, But my issue is, what if you have a more complex order where you're like, I'd like mayo on only half the bun.
Dude, no, they're getting it wrong. They can't even get the right one. My point is, yes, Greg, it's AI. B, they can't even get a simple order right.
Yeah.
I've done it like 3 or 4 times already in the past 2 months. Not a single order was right.
Mm.
I'd like a Baconator. Oh, you'd like a Happy Meal.
So
I'm at Wendy's. This isn't even McDonald's.
So basically, it's exactly
Not
the
even
same
close.
as with people. It's just
Yeah, it's worse than with people. Yeah, way worse, way worse. And they're listening too, because or maybe there's like some kind of trigger that goes off when I'm yelling at it, saying no, 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 no. Then a human will pick up eventually.
Oh, okay. So it's like the
And they'll
backup,
repeat. No, and a human will pick up and say, "Oh, did you order this?" I'm like, "No, not at all."
right?
Yeah.
I'm curious about this though, because I'm a graphic designer. That is my title at my job, and all this AI art stuff, where you basically type a few words, and it creates a pretty picture based on a bunch of other artists' work.
Right.
I'm a little unnerved by that because it's gotten
As an artist,
exponentially better in just a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
I fear for where it's going to be within 3 to 4 years. It's like, okay, because the big thing at first was that it can't add text. It doesn't do well with text. Oh, it doesn't do this well.
Yeah.
But now it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
I mean,
and the speed at which it's progressing is insane.
Greg is nodding his head because he's a DJ and a music man, and he makes his own music, and I'm sure he is familiar with the AI music that is cropping up everywhere.
Yeah, there's you can type in like the genre you want, the mood you want, whatever. You can even put in what instruments you want. It will spit out something that's pretty close to what you want. I feel like AI still won't make anything special, but there's a lot of music out that's not special
Oh yeah.
already.
Hmm.
So like you can make something that's pretty approximate to what's being put out through AI. And it's kind of like, and I'm really interested as someone who uses technology and uses the grid to make music as whatever ways to humanize things. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be the next big revolution of like, oh, this was made by a human, or
Hmm.
like, oh, this was, oh, someone actually did that and clearly put a lot of time into it.
Right.
Or if you do use technology, what way can you like mask it, or what way can you still keep the human element, or whatever makes it like a computer couldn't have done this, like
Well,
this
indie, I
person
think
who's lived life has
I
done it.
agree. I think what's going to happen is indie companies are going to start making the good stuff because the big companies are going to just lean into AI because it saves so much freaking money,
Yep. I mean,
and they're,
it's already sort of like
It's
that.
happening.
Yeah.
It's
and it,
happening already. Yeah.
their movies aren't playing in theaters. You're not making money from the theaters. They're having to cut back on costs.
Unless
When
you're
you listen to
Deadpool
these,
3.
unless you're Deadpool 3, and so they don't make the same movies they used to make. So they, now they're reverting all this other stuff, and you got to implement things like AI because it doesn't cost you anything, or maybe up front it might cost you, but that's it for the studio. And then you're gonna have these indie companies like you, Roby, that's gonna go in your backyard, film a movie, put it out there, and people are like, "Whoa, this
Yeah.
is the next Good Will Hunting."
This is or whoa, this is a piece of shit. Uh
Hey, do you
But they're used
have,
to watching them piece of shits anyway. So,
that's true. That is
is
oh,
true.
look
that
at
one
that!
of
He
your
made that piece of
goals?
shit at home.
Uh
Can I ask you, is that, do you have goals or dreams of making a Good Will Hunting type of movie
not so
or
much
film like
Goodwill
that?
Hunting, but I
Just
mean,
like an indie film that goes
I
further
do.
than you
I've always
wanted.
had dreams of making a movie. In fact, ever since I was little, ever since I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark when I was 12 or 10 or whatever, however old I was, uh, I've wanted to be involved in movie making some sort of way. And then I got the chance to be on movie sets, and then I realized, wow, unless I'm the director, I don't know if I actually want to be making movies because it's hard work. I mean, it is lugging lights, it is sweat, like especially if you're working outdoors on location. It's it's a lot of work. And it takes an army, and I'm an introvert. So that is kind of goes against my my mode,
It
you
adds
know.
an extra layer of challenge.
Exactly. However, I mean, I was a teacher for many years, so I overcame that introversion, that avoidance of people, and I was fairly successful at that. And the job I do now, I can pretty much keep to myself. But every once in a while, I have to go out and I have to direct something like a commercial or you
Hmm.
know, a, you know, uh, a little video that we're doing for whatever. And I can do it. So yeah, but it is a dream. I would like to at some point make a movie that would be called legitimate, that could be released and put out there. And it's so easy now too. Like, I mean, you can shoot it with a phone. You can upload it to Amazon or Tubi or whatever, and they'll just take any independent film. I mean, if you go and look, there are some insane low budget films out there by all sorts of creators. I mean,
Yeah,
not even B movies. These are like D movies. These are like we went in our apartment complex and we shot this, and they're just out there, and you $5.99 to rent. It's kind of crazy.
I feel like in the same way that musicians, like the top half of 1% might get signed to a record label and become a top 40
Yeah,
megastar. And in the same way, like I feel like filmmakers are going to have to get comfortable with indie films or short films or whatever that's not going to be a blockbuster. And
yeah,
that's probably going to be reserved for like the top half a percent as well. So I'm as I get more into the film side of it and not transition out of music, but I've been really learning about the film side. That's where it's all going, I think.
Oh yeah, and
So I was
everything.
curious. I've never asked you that for some reason. I've
Well,
never known
everything
that.
is going to video, which is a good thing for me because I am a video editor as well. So that is one of my skills. I'm just when I see what the AI editing software can do now, it's like, hmm, it puts together a nice product. It looks good to the untrained eye. It's watchable. It works. But like Greg said, there's always a little something missing. There's that human element that there's something when you're doing it, when a human is doing it. I feel like it's an art, and there's different ways to do it, and you can tell like one editor from another editor. It's not
Yeah.
wrong
Watch
way.
300, and there's all these awesome slow motion scenes.
What was the problem with 300?
Oh, we had it out last episode.
Yeah.
You were. It was me, B, and Holly, and yeah, Greg missed our first the Introverse at the movies episode, which I kind of felt bad because Greg is a big movie fan, and but we'll definitely do another. This will be a
We'll let you
recurring.
pick the movie, Greg.
We'll let you pick the movie since you weren't able to participate in the last one.
Yeah.
But we'll do occasionally, maybe not once a month, but once every other month. We'll do the Introverse at the movies, and we'll do an episode dedicated to discussing one particular film.
Yeah, we should pick a good movie though.
You didn't like 300. Have you seen, and I asked because they announced that they're making a new season of this. Did you watch the show Spartacus?
Yes, I
Blood
did.
and Sand.
I did.
I have not.
They're somehow stretching it and
I heard
getting
that.
another
I heard that.
season out of this.
Out of
and
a dead character, no less. Two dead characters.
I am. Well, they're gonna make it like an alternate timeline.
Yeah, they're going multiverse with
Like a what
Spartacus.
if. So I'm excited and also kind of cringing. Like this is what we're doing.
Here's the thing.
So
The series of Spartacus is one of my favorite. I don't like to use the word guilty pleasure, but if you're gonna use it, you use it for Spartacus because that show is so batshit insane. B, it is basically like 300, but on steroids.
That's a bad thing?
No. It's a great thing.
it's 300 and Gladiator combined.
Yes.
Okay.
And just
with
amped
a little bit of blow.
With combine it with like Game of Thrones and then just turn the dial up.
So Gladiator
It's
300
really
and a
nuts.
lot of boobs.
A lot of everything. There's a lot of everything. It's
not discriminate.
no.
It's not like Charleston Heston's Spartacus, huh?
Kirk Douglas.
Kirk Douglas. That's what I said. I was on the
Charlton Heston's
right
Ten
train of
Commandments.
thought.
Yeah. Ben-Hur. You were thinking Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur, yeah.
Ben-Hur. Ben-Hur is what I was thinking of.
Yeah. No, this show is it's batshit insane. Now it looks cheesy as hell, particularly in the first season. It is the worst green screen.
The best season.
But it is. But it's
yes.
But the green screen is so bad.
Okay.
It's almost like a comedy, but the violence is so insane and there's so much nudity that you just don't really care that the effects are
like
bad.
Naked men wrestling each other.
Oh, there's lots of
I didn't
women
notice
too.
there was a green screen.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of women as well.
I'm surprised you for such being a champion of 300. I'm surprised you haven't seen this show.
Honestly, I started it and didn't get past the first episode.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I wouldn't have liked it. It's just, whatever mood I was in. Just whatever mood I was in that day. It's like I wasn't in the mood for it, stopped it, and never picked it back up.
No,
so it's like a lot of shows.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's one of those things you got to dive deep. You just have to commit, and you have to start watching it. And about two, I think maybe
it takes about 4 episodes.
Yeah, 3 or 4 episodes.
That's not bad.
3 or 4 episodes in, you're going to be like, yeah, this show's cool.
Bad. Yeah. What you think about the new Gladiator coming out? Speaking of that genre,
I'm torn on that.
Mm-hmm. Me too. The trailer looks cool.
I know. Well, Gladiator is is it a perfect movie? Maybe. And it's one of those maybe this is
Loved it.
perfect.
Yep.
And it doesn't need a sequel. So the fact
Yes.
that Gladiator 2 exists is kind of offensive. And I'm just like,
Money
I don't
grab.
know.
Yeah.
But I have to see it because it's Gladiator 2. I
Yeah.
have to see it. But I kind of like, okay, I'm going to watch the trailer. And I watched the trailer, and the trailer kind of, I was like, why are you doing it? The trailer has to put me over the edge. Like, this is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And it didn't.
No, it didn't.
It
put you over
didn't
the edge.
answer my. It didn't answer my questions. Like, why do you exist
Yeah.
as a sequel to one of the almost perfect movies? But because of who's in it, I have to go see it. And
Who?
Denzel.
Oh,
Denzel is in it.
Yes.
And I
Denzel
don't know why.
looks like
I
he's
don't know what he's
playing.
doing.
He looks like he's playing a little bit of the Oliver Reed type character, like the gladiator, the former gladiator who's now training gladiators, but he's moved up in the empire and he's got status now.
He's like managing
Or
the arena.
Dottore from Spartacus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Dottore from Spartacus.
Ananias.
Yes. So
you gotta watch Spartacus, Brent.
Yeah.
I'll add it to my list. I got Ozark to
That's
finish.
a gap.
I got freaking the Dragon Queens, Game of Thrones, whatever
Lord.
it is. Got that to finish. I got Your Honor to finish.
Oh Lord, man,
I'm in the middle of all three of those right now. And then I've just added The Boys.
Yeah. I sort of trailed off on The Boys. I watched the first 2 seasons and I've trailed off. I haven't.
So I've got a lot of content.
You know what? I've realized you named a lot of shows that I haven't seen, and it's because I've been so committed to pro wrestling. Like if I'm gonna sit down and watch something, and like not be making music or whatever, it's been pro wrestling, and I would have to stop pro wrestling in order to add a show, or I'd have to find a way to fit
Is there
it
like
somewhere.
a regular schedule for pro wrestling? Like every Thursday night there's a
yes.
Okay.
It's every Monday night and every Friday night.
Is that Monday Night Raw?
Every Monday night
Monday
is
Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDown. So that's 2 nights already. And it's kind of
so twice a week you're watching wrestling.
That's got to screw with your
Are the
social
stories
life.
like sequential, like the storyline? You can see them progress?
In WWE, it is sequential episodic storytelling for 52 weeks.
I found out
there's no off season.
That's insane.
Yeah, no. I've listened to like episode podcasts with like The Rock and who's the other guy? That's
John Cena.
John Cena. John Cena was a good interviewee, and they work. Those guys work hard. You know, and they don't want to miss anything because it's like you want to stay in people's spotlight. It's not healthy.
John Cena did announce his retirement, and 2025 will be his last calendar year.
After we released the episode we talked about wrestling, my mom called me and she's like, "Oh, why you didn't talk about your great grandmother?" I'm like, "What do you mean?" Yeah, she used to watch wrestling all the time, and I didn't know. Yeah, not my grandmother, my great grandmother. Yeah, loved watching wrestling. Yep.
Wow. So
that's there's the whole drama behind it. You know, that continuous drama.
Well, it's like a not to
it's like a soap opera.
Belittle it, and not that this is belittling it, but to compare it to like a soap opera or like, but it is a continuing story.
Well, that's what a soap opera does. It's just nonstop for 20 years.
Right. It just keeps going on. Like Greg said, 52 weeks. Like they don't take a week off, which is kind of insane.
Yeah,
so I can't.
Do you watch UFC?
Add The Boys. No.
Yeah.
My dad was into it for a while, but I never really got.
Yeah, I enjoy it. Yeah, it's fun. Gets me all hyped.
Actual violence.
Actual violence.
I like the story aspect. I like that it's scripted and that eventually the good guys win.
Right.
UFC,
they're 99% bad guys. Yeah.
Well,
it's like sports.
You gotta be a bad guy.
They're bad dudes in the way of like.
That's what I mean. Bad dudes.
They're bad dudes, but I hear that a lot of them are really the nicest guys in real life because
I haven't met any.
They get all their aggression out in the ring, so they're just easygoing, chill dudes in real life. I don't know if that's true or not, but
who knows? I don't.
Yeah,
but they're bad dudes.
Yeah,
they're bad mofos.
Bad motherfuckers.
Yeah.
There's an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation where this guy put all of his evil, aggressive, whatever bad thoughts into this rock and was like transferring it to other women.
What?
And the woman was like aging them prematurely.
Oh, wow.
And so the reason, is this a spoiler for y'all?
No.
Star
Yeah,
Trek?
it is, but I don't care.
Wait.
And so
This
he ended up, getting on the ship to do negotiate. So he's a negotiator, and he's always able to be super calm and agreeable.
He played by
because he transfers his bad thoughts and negativity to this person who travels around as his mother, but it's actually like a young woman that like all this stuff was like aging her. So it happened to Counselor Troy. And so Counselor Troy starts like acting out, and then she starts aging, and people thinks that's his mother. But of course they all know it's Counselor Troy. So they figure out that he's like doing this evil stuff. So maybe that's what UFC is doing, for these people. They're like super calm and kind because they get to hit people.
Wow.
And train and do all this stuff. Y'all don't know this episode? Y'all are Star Trek.
It sounds familiar, but again, it's been years since I've seen the show. So
I used to watch every episode. Again, I had to stop once I got back into wrestling. I used to watch Star Trek pretty regularly. I would rewatch, and everything's on Netflix. So once Netflix happened, I was like, man, I can watch this. I should quit again and maybe get good at music again so people will care. But this has been part of it.
And the Monday night and Friday night, that's both WWE?
Yes.
Okay.
There are other promotions, but that's been the one I've been
that's
following.
Been the big one for a while.
That's the big one.
Been that was the WWF back when I was younger.
Then
and then it
Deer
morphed.
Wildlife Foundation. Yeah, it was like some kind of wildlife foundation or something that.
Well, I thought they changed it because of the.
They were sued.
Were they sued?
For WWF, the name.
The people who called it out for being fake, basically, it was basically saying, yeah, okay, it is, but it's still incredibly entertaining, and so we're going to change our name. And I thought that's why Vince McMahon changed it from Federation.
That was the spin. That was what they told the public.
I got you.
But they were actually being sued.
I got you.
Because someone else beat them to.
Like years before
somehow,
right.
And I remember one of their and I don't even watch wrestling, but I remember all this. One of their marketing thing was WWE, get the F out.
Yeah,
it was good.
I remember that.
It was good.
Like
that. I was like, oh, that was good. Get the F out.
They switched it to entertainment.
They really took that lawsuit and spun it.
Yeah,
because that's the thing. You got to change your whole image.
Yeah. Well, they just changed one letter at the end of the day. I mean,
it's still an impactful thing.
No, it was.
To the,
it was
the psyche.
But yeah, it was
They had to change their logo.
They did good with
it.
it.
Change everything. Yeah, I remember that.
Turns out it's not that bad once you have a big enough name. Like Twitter, we're now called X. Facebook, we're now called Meta. If I have enough billions of dollars, you can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
I still type in Twitter. I don't type X.
Is it still called tweets?
To me, it is. I still type all that
X's
in
now. All my exes live in Texas, right?
I just let it redirect me. I'm not going to type in x.com.
X is it x.com? Just an X.
I was never on
X.com.
Twitter, and I've never been on X. It's
I was on Twitter for a little while.
Not a
after
big
my
social
surgery,
media
I tried to
person.
do help people and stuff like that for about a month or so. And
I'm on all the big social platforms and some of the smaller ones.
I like to watch Instagram for the funny stuff.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
You want to see one of the funny things I saw?
Pull it up.
I don't know if this is going to work being a video, but we're going to do another screen share.
Yeah.
It worked.
Oh, something worked over there.
Oh.
All right.
Can you see that?
We can see it. It's very wide.
My boyfriend, I'm going to press play. My boyfriend purchased colon broom and lost 60.
Because you're acting like a volcano, tending to be my savior. Nothing you do can save us.
Just head over to their site while they're still doing a 65% off discount.
So yeah, colon broom. What the fuck?
Wait, I was waiting for something
What?
to happen. Like I
Why did we watch
see?
that? What were we looking for?
Because I think this is very funny.
well, you would because you.
It's an advertisement, and this girl who weighs 90 pounds and is very sexy and cute is so excited her boyfriend just bought colon broom. First of all, the name.
Colon broom.
Will they pay us for
Colon
us
broom.
having
They're not going to
aired
pay
that?
us. No.
They better. I expect.
don't-
I expect.
I can't-
Maybe if we try it. Let's try
I
it
can't
all.
support
I'm not
it.
trying colon broom. Not-
Colon broom. Yeah. Do you see how excited she is?
And she's
They
actually.
don't say what it does. They don't tell you what it
She's
does.
mixing it. Well, we know what it does based on the title, right?
It gives you explosive diarrhea.
Explosive diarrhea. That's exactly what
it's
it is.
sweet. It's a broom. It sweeps out
It
your colon.
sweeps out everything.
Yeah. Yeah. It's gonna flush. She's gonna take a
I feel
massive
like colon mop would have been a better title though, because
Well, maybe that's for the bathroom.
oh,
You gotta
okay,
use a broom to sweep it all out of you.
right.
Princess.
Brave gang.
Greg has got his annual birthday blowout show coming up. Is it next week?
It's Saturday. It is 2
This
days from
Saturday?
today.
This Saturday?
Yeah.
It's this Saturday. Now, obviously, this will air
Afterward. Yes.
but
Nice.
but
No
the
worries.
excitement is building. It's palpable right now. Yeah. So
How old are you gonna be?
he is going to be my age.
46.
He's going to be
46.
the big 4'6". It feels good, man. It
4'6".
feels good.
What, the colon?
No,
Colon
stuff.
maybe after colon
This girl
broom, but-
thinks it feels amazing.
No, I'm
She's
going
dancing.
to say 46 feels good. Well, I'm what we were halfway through the year, right? A little over halfway through the year. So far, I can't complain about 46. Knock on.
I hope, I hope next year will be better than the last one.
Yeah.
Hope that for every year moving forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it will be. Declare it.
Yeah.
Manifest.
will be better
Is
than
that
that.
is that a thing we do? Manifest things? I hear everybody
Yeah,
saying
can't
that
hurt.
now. We're gonna manifest it. I feel like I'm back in church when I was a kid. Like they always used to talk
Very
about
biblical.
we're gonna manifest the miracle.
It's but it's in every aspect of all kinds of stuff.
Right.
It's true.
Right.
If you think negative things, negative shit's gonna happen to you.
Yep.
So think positive.
Or even if positive shit happens to you, you're still gonna have a negative
If you're in a
reaction to
negative
it.
lens. Yeah, exactly. And if you're thinking positive, something bad happens to you.
Yeah. If your
You might have a little bit positive spin on
your
it.
neighbor's son runs into your mailbox early in the morning, bends it to a 45-degree angle, you just think happy thoughts. And
I'm in a neighborhood right now. There's 4 of us living in this house, and so we have 4 cars, and we're all still we've lived here a couple of weeks now. We're still like kind of getting a feel for who should park in the driveway and who should park in the street. And sometimes we have to park like in front of other people's houses.
Oh, yeah.
And I try to claim one particular spot. I'm a street parker,
Yeah.
always have been, but occasionally I have to park in front of someone else's house. I've been sharing the wealth. I park in front of
different houses.
But
Well,
we'll
I
do
feel
it.
like if you're in front of the house, it's not as big of a deal as if you're in front of the driveway or directly behind the driveway, where you may negatively impact.
You're not in front of their driveway.
Yeah,
think
he's talking
you're
about
okay.
just parking in front of the house. Like that's fine.
That's different. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah. That's
I
fair game.
try not to. So sometimes I can park in front of a house, but it's across the street from another driveway. And I try to avoid that. And I try to avoid like
that's hard,
in front
though.
of a mailbox. It's difficult.
It is.
Is it a one-way street? Is it like a narrow one-way street?
It's a narrow street, but it's like a street. It's like a drive. It's like a residential neighborhood.
Yeah.
There's
You know, like
no,
I'm talking about like in New Orleans.
line
Oh no,
through
I know
it.
what you're talking about. Those are
Yeah.
pains in the ass.
Those are hard to park on the street.
Mm-hmm. And you're blocking somebody, no matter where you're at.
Everyone is being blocked. Period.
B, did you ever live in the city of New Orleans? Like
I did.
Like
Well, I
ever you
lived
didn't?
like in Metairie.
Yeah, he lived
That
I
counts
lived
to me.
close.
about 10
Yeah.
minutes. 10 minutes
Yeah,
outside.
every
So-
time I've been to New Orleans, we went to Metairie.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to me, that's like part of
Yeah.
it.
It's part of it. It's,
Yeah.
you know.
No, it's a busy area. Yeah, there's interstate bridges everywhere. It's traffic, fun traffic.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Good game, everybody.
We-
Hey, this is Greg from the Introverse podcast. You can follow us on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. We're also on Introverse Pod on social media. Thank you so much for listening.
What he said.
Yep. Nailed it.
Boom.